respectable network. We're a whorehouse network.
We're a whorehouse.
Whatever we can get.
Well, I don't want any part of it. I don't fancy myself the president of a whorehouse.
That's very commendable of you, Nelson. Now sit down. Your indignation has been duly recorded. You can always resign tomorrow. Now look, what in substance are we proposing?
What in
Merely
substance
to
are
add
we
editorial
proposing?
comment to our network news show.
So
Brinkley,
it's a network
Severine,
news show.
Reasoner all have their comments. Now Howard Beale will have his. I think we ought to give it a shot. Let's see what happens tonight. Telephone.
Well, I don't want to be the Babylonian messenger who has to tell Max Schumacher about this.
Max Schumacher doesn't work at the network. Mr. Ruddy fired him last night. Bob McDonough's running the news division now. Bob McDonough in news, please.
Oh, I don't know. I may teach, I may write a book. Whatever the hell one does when one approaches the autumn of one's years. God, is that me? Was I ever that young? No, Howard just brought
Was I
in a
ever
picture
that
of
young?
Ed
Was
Moore
I
and
ever
the
that
whole
young?
CBS gang when we were there.
It's,
You wouldn't believe it.
you will
Walter
believe it.
Cronkite, Harry Reasoner, Hollenbeck, Bob Trout. Bet you. Yeah. Okay, Dick, we'll be in touch. Right.
Remember this kid? He's the
Yeah,
kid
we'll
I
be
think
in
you once sent out to interview Cleveland Amory on vivisection. That's it. What's so funny?
So I jump out of bed, my pajamas, I grab my raincoat, I run downstairs, I run out in the street, and I hail a cab. And I jump in and I yell at the driver, take me to the middle of the George Washington Bridge. And the driver turns around and he says, don't do it, buddy, don't do it. You're young, you got your whole life ahead of you.
Wait a minute. If you think that's funny, no, if you think that's funny, wait till you hear this. I've just come back from Frank Hackett's office, and he wants to put Howard back on the air tonight. No, apparently the ratings went up 5 points last night, and he wants Howard to go back on and do his angry man thing.
What are you talking about?
I'm telling you, they want Howard to go back on and yell bullshit.
Yeah,
They
bullshit.
want Howard to go on spontaneously letting out his anger. A latter-day prophet denouncing the hypocrisies of our time.
Hey, that sounds pretty good. Who's this today?
Hackett, Cheney was there, the legal affairs guy. Oh, and that girl from program.
Christensen. What's she got to do?
That girl from
You're
Harry.
kidding, aren't you?
I'm not kidding. I told him, I said, look, we're running a news department down here, not a circus. And Howard Beale's not a bearded lady. And if you think I'm going to go along with this bastardization of the
Not a
news, you can
bearded
have my
lady.
resignation along with Max Schumacher's right now. And I think I'm speaking for Howard Beale and everybody else down there in news.
That's my job you're turning down. Well, you're nuts without some kind of proof. And what's wrong with being an angry prophet denouncing the hypocrisies of our times? What do you
What's
think?
wrong with being an angry prophet?
You want to be an angry prophet denouncing the
Do you
hypocrisies of our
want
time.
to be an angry prophet?
Angry prophet denouncing the hypocrisies of our times.
Then grab it, grab it.
Grab it. Grab it. Then grab it.
Afternoon, Mr. Rudder.
Afternoon, Mr. Ruddy. It's ready for you, Mr. Ruddy.
Thank you.
Nelson Cheney tells me Beale may actually go in the air this year. As far as I know, Howard's trying to do it. Sit still for this, Ed?
Yes.
How
I think
would
Hackett's
you do it?
overstepped himself.
6 mil from this end.
There's some kind of corporate maneuvering going on, Max. Hackett is clearly forcing a confrontation. That would account for his behavior at the stockholders meeting. However, I think he's making a serious mistake with this
I
Beale.
think he's making serious
I
mistakes.
suspect CCA will be upset at Hackett's presumptuousness. Certainly Mr. Jensen will. So I'm going to let Hackett have the thing for a while. Just might lose it over this business. I'd like you to reconsider your resignation, Max. I have to assume
I'd
that
like you to
Hackett wouldn't take
reconsider
such
your
steps without
resignation,
some
Max.
support on the CCA board. I'll have to go directly to Mr. Jensen.
I'd have to
If
go
that
directly
happens,
to
I'm
Mr.
going to need
Kinsey.
every friend I've got. And I
Yeah,
certainly
I
don't
feel
want
like
Hackett's
that.
people in all the divisional positions. So I'd like you to stay on, Max.
I feel like that.
I'd like you to stay on. 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 I'd like you to st
response to the new Howard Beale show was not auspicatory. The press was without exception hostile and industry reaction negative. The ratings for the Thursday and Friday shows were both 14, but Monday's rating dropped a point, clearly suggesting the novelty was wearing off.
Suggesting the novelty.
Did you know there are a number of psychics working as licensed brokers on Wall Street? Some of them counsel their clients by using tarot cards. They're all pretty successful, even in the bear market. Sell it short. I met one of them last week. Thought of doing a show around her, the Wayward Witch of Wall Street, something like that. But of course, it would take her anything she could write about it. So I called her this morning and asked her how she was on reading the future. She said she was occasionally prescient. For example, she said, I just had a fleeting vision of you sitting in an office with a craggy middle-aged man with whom you are or will be emotionally involved. Here I am.
She does all this with tarot cards.
No, this one operates on parapsychology. She has trans-psychic.
This one operates on
feels things in her energy.
parapsychology.
This lady could be very useful to you, Max.
This lady could be very useful to you, Max.
You put on a news show.
You put on a news show.
Here's somebody who can predict tomorrow's
Here's somebody
news show.
who can predict tomorrow's news show.
Sybil. Sybil the soothsayer.
Sybil.
You could give her
The
2 minutes of
soothsayer.
trance at the end of a Howard Beale show, say your once a week Friday.
Say once a
which
week
is suggesting
Friday.
a cult, and she could oraculate.
She could
Then
oraculate.
next week,
Then
everyone
next
tunes
week.
in to see how good her predictions were.
Why
Maybe
not?
she could do the weather.
Maybe she could do the weather.
Your network news show is going to need some help, Max. It's going to hold Beale doesn't do the angry man thing well at all. Who, Quetchy's being irascible, would want a prophet, not a curmudgeon. He should do more apocalyptic doom. I think you should take it on a couple of writers to write